Who are you? Where do you come from? Bereishit is the first of the 5 books of the Torah, and it tells us the story of our Jewish family. Bereishis. Before anything else existed, there was only Hashem. Hashem wanted to create a world where people would keep Torah and do mitzvot. Look around. The sky, the grass, people, everything in the world was created in 6 days. On the 7th day, Hashem rested. The first people, Adam and Chava, had to leave the Garden of Eden when the sneaky snake convinced them to eat fruit from the tree of knowledge. Now they would see what life would be like in the real world. Noah. Imagine if everyone around you was doing the wrong thing. That's what happened during Noah's time, hundreds of years after the first humans, Adam and Chava. Hashem destroyed the entire world in a great flood, except for Noah. He and his family, floating in the water on their huge teva, were the only ones saved. After the flood, they worked hard to rebuild the world for many more years, until Avram was born. Lech Lecha, meet the first Jew, Avram. As a little boy of 3, he discovered that Hashem is the only true God. Hashem made a special promise to Avram that he would be the father of the great Jewish nation. And even though Avram's children would be slaves in Egypt, Hashem promised that they would leave with great riches. Vayera. Avram and his wife Sarah taught others about Hashem. Avram and Sarah's tent had 4 doors open wide for guests. In the middle of the desert, they gave food, drink, and rest to anyone who passed by. Finally, when Avram was an old man of 100 years old, he and Sarah had a baby named Yitzchak. It's the beginning of the Jewish nation. Hashem's promise is coming true. Chaye Sarah. Soon it was time for Yitzchak to get married. Avram sent his servant Eliezer to look for a wife. "We need to look for someone very kind," Avram said. "That's how we will know she is the right one." After a long day of travel, Eliezer arrived in town with his 10 thirsty camels. A young girl named Rivka appeared. "Can I help you?" she asked. "You look tired. Here, let me give water to you and all of your camels." When Eliezer saw how kind Rivka was, he knew that she was perfect for Yitzchak. Toldos. The Jewish family continued. Rivka and Yitzchak gave birth to twins, Yaakov and Esav. Yaakov loved Torah and mitzvot, but his twin brother Esav was busy hunting in the field. One day, Esav came home extra hungry, and Yaakov traded a hot bowl of lentil soup for his birthright. That's how Yaakov got the special blessings to become the next father of the Jewish people. Vayetze. Oh no! Esav was boiling mad about losing his birthright. Yaakov had to run away to save his life. He went to Haran, where his uncle Lavan lived. In Haran, Yaakov married 2 sisters, Rachel and Leah. Together, they built a strong Jewish family that would continue the Torah ways of Avraham and Yitzchak. Vayishlach. After years of working for his uncle, Yaakov became a wealthy man. It was time to travel back to Israel with his whole family. On the way, he met Esav, who was still very angry. Yaakov gave Esav lots of presents, and with Hashem's help, they parted ways in peace. Vayeshev. Of all Yaakov's 12 sons, Yosef was extra special. He excelled at learning Torah and doing mitzvot. His father loved Yosef so much that he made him a special coat of many colors. That made his brothers very jealous. They wanted to throw Yosef into a pit, but instead, they sold him as a slave. Miketz. Yosef started out as a slave in Egypt, then ended up in jail when he was accused of a crime he never committed. In jail, Yosef became well known for his skills at interpreting dreams. When Pharaoh had a strange dream, they called Yosef right away. The dream showed that there would be great hunger in the entire world, and Yosef gave Pharaoh a plan for saving up food for that time. That's how Yosef ended up as second in command over the entire land of Egypt. Vayigash. When Yosef's brothers came down to Egypt to buy food, they didn't recognize him. But Yosef knew right away that these were his long-lost brothers. Yosef didn't hold a grudge that his brothers sold him as a slave. He forgave them and invited his brothers to bring their families and come to Egypt, where he would give them all the food they needed to survive the hunger. Vayechi. After years apart, Yaakov's family is finally reunited. All of the 12 tribes settled in Egypt and continued to grow and grow. Even in Egypt, they stayed connected to Hashem. They built Torah schools and continued to do mitzvot. Yaakov was becoming an old man, so before he passed away, he gave each of his 12 sons a special blessing so they could continue to be strong Jewish families. This is the story of our Jewish family. From the generosity of Avraham and Sarah, to the kindness of Rivka, to Yaakov's Torah learning power and Yosef's trust in Hashem, each of our Jewish mothers and fathers give us strength to be the best Jews we can be.